I want to say sorry that I didn't do a Raw review last night. I was working on my animation, so I didn't do a review. I did watch it, but I just didn't do a review of it. And this kind of leads me into what I want to say about Smackdown Live. I look at both shows. Going into Survivor Series, which show did I actually care about more? Was it Smackdown or Raw? And to be honest, it's Smackdown. Taking away from all the people that I do care about Smackdown, that's the Usos, that's Naomi, that is the New Day, the Fashion Police still crack my ass up. I love them, Aiden English, those type of people. I just find that Smackdown Live is easy to digest because it's a 2-hour show compared to a 3-hour and 15 to 20 minute show of Raw. I'm sorry. It's just too many hours. Too much to digest, and then you want to do a review of it. Every Monday, I finish editing my videos after 12 o'clock at night. I try my best to do these videos properly, so I'm doing it up to about 12 o'clock at night and beyond to actually shoot the video and then edit the video. It kills you after a while. So seeing Smackdown Live, I actually care more about it. Now, let's begin with AJ Styles with Daniel Bryan as the advocate for AJ Styles. It was refreshing to see. Not taking anything away from Paulie, who was spontaneous last night. Someone said, I do. That they said, she said yes. And he broke character and said something. That is one of the few times I really saw the real Paul Heyman. Not the scripted one. And I really wish Paul Heyman would move on to another person. I just feel like he really needs a refresh. He's doing what he's needing to do. He's making his money. But I just feel like he's not spontaneous like he used to be. And I think that's not what he really wants. That's just me. I mean, he's going to do what he needs to get this. But I really believe that he needs a refresh with a new partner. Instead of Brock Lesnar, it should be somebody else. Maybe he'll pair up like he did with Cesaro. He was hot with Cesaro. I just hope that he'll be paired up with somebody that really will reflect him and then give him new, fresh life. He'll be interested again. Now, did Daniel Bryan do well? Yes, he did. And this is something that I would really think he should be doing. Because if he's not being the general manager of SmackDown, he should be a manager. Now, that leads me into what happened after that. Leading when he was talking with Shane McMahon. I got like 3 trains of thought here of what he said. Saying we need to talk after Survivor Series. We just need to talk. Now, it's one of 3 things. 1, he's going to become a heel as a manager. He's going to be reckless. He's going to be rude. 2, he's going to go to Raw. That's what I'm thinking, and go become general manager for Raw. Because he's not going to want to stay on Smackdown Live. The 3rd one is that he'll become a manager. And he will probably go to Raw, or he'll stay on Smackdown and manage somebody. Those are the 3 trains of thought I have. Now, if anybody remembers this, that I said this, remind me that I said this, because after I do these videos, my mind kind of goes blank. I don't remember every time I say absolutely everything. But I do believe that one of those 3 trains of thought could happen if they're having this talk. That's just me. Now, no, it's not Jay, it was Jimmy, sorry. Jimmy Uso versus Chad Gable. In a match I don't think they really needed to do. They could have left the Usos alone, particularly what happened at the end of the night. They didn't need to do it. I just felt like the Usos weren't required to do this. They could have waited until after. Let me paint you a picture. Usos come out saying, we are the Usos, and we're going to create lockdown in the Uso Penitentiary at Survivor Series. That's right, Us. We're going to do this. We're going to do it. And I have this in my face while I'm doing this. Because I ain't going to be showing my face while this is happening. Anyway, then Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin come out saying, we want a rematch. We want more. And then you got Shane coming out saying, next week, you'll have that match. The same one we had now, you can have it. Or they could have done a backstage segment with Shane or Daniel Bryan saying, I want Chad Gable. And this is the very same person who did the match now. I just feel like it didn't need to happen this week. It could have happened after Survivor Series. I'm just saying. That's just me. Alright. We got Baron Corbin versus Cara. I was going to be surprised. Had to think about that. I mean, I was going to be surprised if Sin Cara was going to win, because that would have made no freaking sense. But guess what? At the same time, it kind of does. If you look at Baron Corbin, look, I've always liked Baron Corbin. There are people who comment on my videos who still care about Baron Corbin. But the problem here is Baron Corbin has been buried by the company because of just supposedly one tweet or something that he did months ago. They made him eat the shit and like the taste of it. That's why his title reign means nothing. And to be honest, going into Survivor Series, it would have been better to have a face and a heel. So letting Sin Cara actually win might have been a wiser thing, even though it wouldn't have been a wiser thing. Who wants to see another title change? Particularly what happened with Charlotte, who I'll get to in a moment. But you get my point. It just feels like it would have been better for Sin Cara to have that title earlier. Then we could have just went with this instead of him having to be built up, which really doesn't mean anything. Honestly. Now, Charlotte versus Natalya. We already know what happened at the match. We already know the Nate came out. We all had a touchy-feely moment. And I'm glad to see Nature Boy on his feet. And if you've never seen 30 of 30, the ESPN special on him, I watched it. I suggest you watch it because it really does give a very good insight in how Nature Boy Ric Flair thinks. The guy lives and breathes wrestling. I do believe that he needs to become like a trainer. He really needs to become a trainer and actually train some of these people in NXT. I think he should take over the position that Dusty Rhodes had and actually work in Florida and actually help train the next generation of wrestlers. That would give him new life. He needs to become a mentor. Especially after his son died, he just fell apart. And I think that's the reason why he had his heart problem and had to be put into a coma. Or he was in a coma, I can't remember. That, I really believe, is what he needs. But I want to say this about Charlotte. Look, don't hate Charlotte. But I still believe Charlotte is not a great enough of a talent. I really do believe that. I believe that, you know what I believe? She should have came onto the roster now. 2007. You want to know why? 6 title reigns. 6. 6 of them. And in all those title reigns, yes, she had a great partner and a boss of a Sasha Banks. But when she works with someone that she doesn't know, she seems very sloppy. She's still a bit sloppy on the mic. And I know a lot of people say, well, no one's perfect. I'm not calling her perfect. I'm not saying anyone is perfect. But I am saying that when someone is lacking a good chunk and only can work with people that she's highly familiar with, that's the reason why this match was pretty good. Because she dealt with Natalya in NXT. Not on Raw. Not on Smackdown. She dealt with her first on NXT, then Raw, then Smackdown. That's the truth. And with more women from NXT coming up eventually, and if she hadn't dealt with them, because she had dealt with Alexa Bliss, she had dealt with a Carmella, when those people that she had not dealt with come up, you're going to see the difference of what I'm stating. That when she's not familiar with somebody, and they don't know how to cover her quirks, she's going to be incredibly sloppy. Now, I know a person can learn another person, and I'm not saying everyone is perfect, but trust me, she has a severe problem of not being developed enough to be able to adapt. There are wrestlers that are good as long as they know the partner, and there are other wrestlers who can adapt no matter who it is. I don't think she inherited that from Nature Boy Ric Flair. Nature Boy Ric Flair could work with anybody. He just had that kind of gift to adapt to his opponent. She does not. And I just feel like when she goes up against Alexa Bliss, it's because she has maybe a little bit of familiarity with her. Not much, but some. That the match will be semi-alright. But because she has not really wrestled her much, you're going to see her be very sloppy. Not Alexa. And I'm not a big Alexa fan, even though she's cute as hell. It's going to be Charlotte who's going to be sloppy. Mark my words. She's going to be more sloppy than Alexa will be. And Alexa's not going to be able to cover all that mess. Now, there was no fashion police, unfortunately. But it's understanding why. We got, let me see, am I forgetting anything? Alright, we have New Day versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I want to say this. Sami did very good. He's finally showing more heel tendencies. And that was my major issue. In the back when he was talking with Kevin Owens, he talked more heelish. And it seemed more appropriate for his character. And when he went into the ring, he acted more heelish. He was hammering on the... What was it? It was not Kofi Kingston. It was Big and Langston, and it was Xavier Woods. He was hammering on Xavier Woods. He was acting like a heel with Xavier Woods more. He wasn't acting as friendly and nice as he was before. And that makes him a better talent to look like. I mean, look at. He's better. I'm not saying he's great, but he's now better. And I can easily stand him. In the end, what did we get? Because this is the end of the show. We got Raw's Revenge. Sounds like Montezuma's Revenge. If no one knows what Montezuma's Revenge, you drink the water in Mexico, you get something nasty. I've never been to Mexico, so I don't think that happens much anymore. But, see it like this. When Smackdown invaded, I was always worried that Raw was going to retaliate immediately. And guess what? They didn't. I was very happy about that, and it was refreshing. But here's the flip side. They should have attacked them last week. That would have been better. I would have liked an attack last week than this week. For the simple reason that SmackDown could have gotten something more out of this. Because at the beginning of the show, the very beginning of the show, was a pep talk by Shane McMahon with everybody there. That would have been better. And I know that people are going to say, dude, that wouldn't have been better because they would have been defeated. No. If there was a standoff and they stopped it there, that would have been cool for next week because they could have actually said there was a standoff. Raw did not beat SmackDown. SmackDown did not beat Raw. Both sides were basically wiped out except for Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon. They were last one standing, and they basically cut it from there because their troops were wiped out, and those two were actually the last one standing. You wonder who's going to win Survivor Series. Here, it's so telegraphed. And I'm not saying that Raw's going to win at Survivor Series. I'm just saying that it's something you normally see. I would have rather see everyone get wiped out. Even Braun Strowman get some chair shots on his head and knock his ass out. And the only two left standing is Shane McMahon and Kurt Angle. Yes, it's corny, but it would have been better. And they could have cut it from there, and I would have cared more. Here, it just feels like, they got back. Raw Revenge. I just feel like it just could have been better. They could have wrote it better. But was this a good show? It was good. It wasn't that bad. I would have loved to see the Fashion Police. I'm not lying. I want to see the Fashion Police and the new Fashion Files. And it would have been nice to have a Naomi segment. At least for me personally. Because I truly believe Naomi is she is getting the shaft. She just is. But it's just my point of view. You guys tell me below how you feel. Have a good day. Have a good night. Watch for my GFW review coming up. Peace.